Uniform linear motion is a motion that occurs in one dimension of space at a constant speed and direction. It is a key principle of physics directly related to Newton's first law. A body has a uniform linear motion if the trajectory is a straight line and the speed is constant.
Uniformly accelerating motion refers to a state of motion that accelerates at a constant rate in a single direction. Gravity is an example of uniform acceleration. An object in free fall accelerates at a constant 9.8 meters per second towards the center of the gravitational field.
In this case, the car is traveling with a constant velocity. Then it receives an impulse which makes it go faster and go through the window. And here is where accelerated uniform linear motion applies. Therefore, its velocity changes constantly.
The distance time graph for non-uniform motion is non-linear. This is because in non-uniform speed, a body travels unequal distances in equal intervals of time.
An object that falls through a vacuum is subjected to only one external force, the gravitational force, expressed as the weight of the object. An object that is moving only because of the action of gravity is said to be free falling, and its motion is described by Newton's second law of motion. In this case, the falling body starts off at rest and reaches a final velocity. The acceleration in all these problems is the acceleration due to gravity.
When a body projects in a straight line upwards, its velocity will decrease rapidly until it reaches some point where it's momentarily at rest and then falls back to Earth, reaching the ground with the same velocity as it had when it was thrown.
There is vertical acceleration. Gravity equals 9.8 meters per squared seconds. If the object is thrown upwards, it continues to rise until velocity equals 0.
This movement is characterized by a curved trajectory when it follows a body, when thrown in a horizontal direction. This results as a combination of two independent displacements, one horizontal at a constant velocity and another one vertical which starts from rest and it is under the action of gravity. All objects launched horizontally or drop from the same height will hit the ground at the same time. Their vertical component or velocity is the same at all times.
A projectile is an object that is only acted on by gravity. A parabola is a curve that is the graphical representation of a quadratic equation. A projectile has an initial velocity, which is either horizontal or upward at an angle. If a projectile were to start out going straight up, it will go straight down too. That would not be much of a parabola since it will be squished into a straight line. It will be the same way if it started out going straight down or if we simply drop it in. So we will really be looking at the parabolic paths followed by projectiles with some initial velocity or starting horizontal speed. It's basically any object that's fired into the air, and when it's moved there's a lot of different forces acting on it. It has got a vertical velocity, it has got an horizontal velocity too.
Now, we are going to talk about an example where the physics, more specifically the parabolic motion, it is applied in sports like American football. We can see that a player is kicking the ball through the area of goal or the goal post to get points, and the movement that the object makes, in this case the ball, it is exactly as the parabolic motion. Kicking a field goal is projectile motion. However, it is not simple. There are many factors that alter the projectile. These include wind, air resistance, and momentum. If these conditions did not exist, and the only other force affecting the projectile or football was gravity, it would be much simpler to solve. In class, we have been solving projectiles as if no other forces besides gravity were acting on the projectile. Now, you might be wondering what projectiles and projectile motion are. To refresh your memory, projectiles are objects traveling through the air acted upon only by gravity. Projectile motion works by launching something through the air with a given initial velocity and a given angle. Its trajectory is determined by gravitational force among the aforementioned factors.